ko tatawagin dito. Isang couple wherein, when she started, taga-Tuigaraw po ito. Alam niyo, sobrang hirap niya. Pero naniniwala siya, magbabago ang buhay niya one day. Ayaw ko ikwento yung buong kwento. Mas maganda sa kanila manggaling, kasama niya kanyang asawa, and they are selling a book, they are promoting a book, wherein nandun lahat ng mga pangyayari sa buhay ko nila. Please welcome Christina and Paul Guilbeau. Palapakan naman natin sila. Ang hirap mga palapak nyo!
Good morning! Kala ko hindi ako magsasalita ngayon. Anyway, so ako po si Christina Gannaban Mr po, tubong Alcala, Cagayan sa Norte po. Sino pong taga Cagayan rito? Mga G1 Alliance! Mga Ilocana! Okay, so, kugento ko lang ng konti yung buhay namin. Nanggaling po kami sa mahirap. Ako yung tipo ng bata pa lang po, nagbebenta na po ako ng mais. So siya na kung medyo iyakin ako ha. Kasi mahirap nga po yung buhay namin. Kahit hindi pa ako nag-aaral noon, alam ko na kung magbenta ng mais. Hanggang natapos ko po yung pag-aaral ko nung college, nagbebenta pa rin po ako ng mais. And dahil po sa kahirapan niya po ng buhay, right after graduation, pumunta akong Manila. And with the hope na magkakaroon ako ng trabaho para makatulong ako sa family. And unfortunately, nakahanap po ako ng trabaho. Pero yung pinangarap ko po, na gusto kong matulungan yung family ko, hindi po nangyari kasi nga po yung kinikita ko that time, hindi po enough pati para sa sarili ko. And ang isang pangarap ko, nung college, nung bata pa lang, gusto ko na mabago yung buhay namin kasi bata pa lang po ako, nakikita ko na po yung hirap ng buhay namin. Nakikita ko narinig ko lagi yung problema sa bahay na laging pinag-uusapan, wala kaming asin, wala kaming bigas, gano'n. Sa mga hindi ko nakakilala sa akin, ako po kasi dati po kung sobrang mahiyain. Yung tipong, kukunti lang po ang friends ko. Kaya sabi ko nung nag-start po ako sa Global, paano ako magiging successful dito, mahiyain po akong tao. Pero alam niyo, sobrang laki po yung pangarap ko. Nasabi ko na kahit mahiyain ko, alam ko kakayanin ko ito. To cut the story short po, ayun po pumunta po ko nag-work abroad. Yun na, dahil sa gusto ko po talaga makatulong sa family. And pumunta po ako ng Hong Kong. And I thank God, nakapagtrabaho naman ako doon nakahanap po ako ng amo na sobrang bait. Na sobrang kabaitan po niya, hindi niya po ako pinapakain. And that moment po, sabi ko sa sarili ko, kasi, sino po sa inyo ang nagbabasa ng Bible? Do you know Jeremiah 39 verse 11? Yes, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. And that moment, sabi ko nung hindi maganda yung pagtitreat sa akin, sabi ko, hindi ito para sa akin. Pero I have that hope na alam ko may magandang mangyayari sa buhay namin. And with that hope ko, sabi ko, uwi na lang ako. Pero hindi ko alam kung anong pwede mangyari sa akin dito sa Pilipinas kasi nga po, wala akong trabaho. But I still have that hope. And I thank God kasi bakit po? Yung tao na I call him as a hero of our family po, hindi po siya nag-quit. Yung tao na yun na ilang beses po siya nadapa, pero paulit-ulit po siyang bumangon. Iyon po yung kuya ko, si Kuya Rodel, nagkaba. Ayan. Sobrang saludo po ako sa kanya kasi sa dami pong network marketing po na sinalihan po niya, good news po, hindi po siya nagtagumpay. Kaya po nung ini-invite niya po ako, sabi ko, ayaw ko dyan, hindi ka nga naging successful, bakit mo pa ako tatawagin dyan sa sinasabi mong mayaman tayo? But I thank God kasi bakit? When God called you to dream, you know what? Hindi papayag ang Panginoon na hindi mo makuha yung pangarap na yon. Ayun po, nag-try po ako kahit mahihain po akong tao, nakakatuwa po. 2.5 years po, I've earned my first million. And alam niyo po ba, lahat pala dito sa Global talaga makakamit mo lahat. Pati po pangarap ko ng pag-aasawa, nakamit ko rin po. Before pa ako nag-Global, sabi ko sa sarili ko, gusto ko magkaroon ng asawa. Bago pa ako nag-Global po ha, gusto ko magkaroon ng asawa na Amerikano. Sabi ko, bakit kanyo po? Kasi gusto kong yumaman. Sabi ko kasi ng tatay ko, mag-asawa ka ng mayaman para yayaman tayo. Thank God, kasi bakit po? Pinadala niya po ang Global kasi po nabago po ang perspective ko po. Nasabi ko, kung kaya ko palang payamanin ang sarili ko, bakit pa ako magde-desire ng isang mayaman? And I thank God po kasi sino po sa inyo nagpe-pray? Ayan. Sino po sa inyo nagpe-pray? Kasi dito pa pala yun. When you pray pala, we need to pray specifically. Kasi that time po, I was praying for someone. But before that, ang isang goal ko, bago po ako mag-asawa, kailangan maging milyonaryo ako, kailangan mabili ko yung kotse ko, kailangan mabili ko yung bridal car ko. Nangyari po lahat yun. Kaya po, ayun, sabi ko, it's time for me to get married. Sabi nga, when you ask God for something, He will give you more than you deserve. Kaya I was like, gusto niyo marinig yung kwento namin?
Good morning. 8 years ago, I was without direction. I had no dreams for my life. I had no visualization. I was just playing around on MySpace, which is like Facebook. And I had a message from a young lady. She was so beautiful in the profile picture. I remember this clearly. She was so beautiful that I thought this has to be like a scam email or something. Who would want to talk to me? So in my heart, I made a plan and said, you know what? I'm going to flirt with this young lady. And what I didn't know is Christina, she had a clear direction for her future. She was an AIM Global member at that time. She had very clear focus for her future. And she knew what I was trying to do. So she said, you know what, if you want to talk to me, you have to buy Living Coffee. So she went on to say that Living Coffee has over 16,000 phytonutrients. I remember clearly thinking, how big is that cup of coffee to fit all that nutrients in it? But I remember I bought the coffee because I wanted to continue talking to her. So we ended up talking for over 1 year online. We went on to talk on Facebook and on Skype. And it is something, the power of visualization, seeing a woman on the computer screen, maybe want to meet her in person. But earlier on, I remember praying to God about a prayer. Even before I knew Christina, I said, God, send me anywhere in the world you want me to go, except the Philippines. Christina mentioned God has a clear plan for your future. So when we're praying, we think in our heart we know what He wants because He knows the desire of our heart. But, you know, when we pray, we need to be specific, like she said. We need to know, we need to seek out what is the desire of God's heart, or we're going to say a prayer that doesn't make sense. Because if He answered that prayer, my life would be totally different. So after talking for 1 year, you know how long we talked online each day? For 3 hours, she would talk online to me. But for 2 hours and 30 minutes, it was product demos, OPPs. A clear focus for your future. You're not going to let anything get in the way. She wanted to have an international team. And I was the first American that she had met, and she was determined to have me as her downline. So after the 2 hours and 30 minutes, I could talk to her for 30 more minutes, and that was exciting. After 1 year, I knew I had to come to the Philippines to meet her for the first time. So when I flew into Manila, she was hiding behind one of the pillars at the airport just to see if it was real. She came around, I remember seeing it was the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen. Single guys, if you're listening to me, you need to marry a Filipino. They're great. So we met for 2 weeks, and I knew in my heart that it was love, but I had to go back home. So I went back home. For a whole nother year, we would talk. For a whole nother year, I was skeptical about this business of MA-INLOVE. As an American, all we know is really employment. If we need more money, we just work harder, where we ask for more hours, we take overtime. She was telling me something totally new to me about residual income, about unilevel stair step, and I didn't understand it, so what we don't understand, we automatically become negative towards it because we don't understand it. But each month I'd ask her, how much are you earning? And she'd say 50,000 pesos. And each month it was more and more, till when it was 100,000 pesos, I knew, this could be a good business. So I knew in my heart that I had to come to the Philippines to ask her to marry me. So I had the ring in my pocket, and I went to gig her out, and when the time was right, I took out the ring and I looked in her eyes and I opened it. I said, baby, will you marry me? And then she looked in my eyes and said, baby, will you buy a global package? I believe if I would have said no, she would have said no. She was that focused about the business that she wanted an American. So I, of course, joined and got 7 heads. And we've been doing the business ever since. And her goal in life is to add value to someone each day. As a leader, that's what we should be striving for. How can we add value into those around us? One way is through our business. Filipinos are now known for the hard work and dedication they have for their families, the sacrifice that they do. So you have your focus, you have your sacrifice, and if you can add value to someone else's life, that's a success. Before you get your first downline, you can be adding value in other ways with your focus you have for yourself, for your family. Focus helps you save time, it saves money, and it saves energy. You know, what AIM Global can do for your life, you need to have focus, because the blessings are going to come in faster than you're prepared for. So you need to prepare now for those blessings. I believe God is looking for who does He want to bless us. And you need to be ready to receive those blessings with open arms. You know, Christina, she likes to say a joke about specific prayers in her life, and she prayed for specific things she wanted in a husband. But one thing she wasn't specific about is praying for a husband that had a full head of hair. So you can be specific down to the follicles on your head. Don't limit what God can do when you're praying. Diba? So, about adding value, you know, Christina wanted to, she wanted to know how else can she add value. She was doing product demos, doing OPPs, NDOs, but what else could she do? Every night she goes to sleep listening to powerful messages, sermons, speakers, and she had all this knowledge, but she had a desire to write a book. But you know what, in her heart, she didn't believe she can do it. How many of you have passions in your heart that you don't believe you can do it? I'm sure many of you do, but she would tell me that. Every day we'd walk in the evening, I'd make her keep her cell phone away so that we could just have our time, and she would talk about her dreams, her passions. And that's what birthed a book that she wanted to write. We went to the US to write, and you know what, it wasn't the right time. We didn't have clear focus. It was just not the right time to write a book. So this year we went back to the US, and she was focused, she was determined. She had the cover of the book that she wanted on her dream board, along with a picture of me when she wanted to marry me. She put it on her dream board. So as we walk she would talk out the chapters of the book. And each chapter would bring tears to her eyes because she's thinking of the lives she would change. And everyone has chapters in their life that they just haven't put down to paper. You have visions that you just haven't visualized yet. You shouldn't limit yourself what you can do just because you're only earning small time right now. You know what? People are just as powerful if you're not a top 20 earner. You have ideas, you have beautiful passions that you can share with others, even if you're not a top 20. So don't wait till you have this status or title within this business to believe you can do it. You can do it now. There's nothing worse than thinking tomorrow I'll do it, or the next day. You're just putting off what you can do today. So I like to take the opportunity whenever I have it to express my love for Christina, my wife. You know, when you do things together in life, you're more powerful. We're now focused as a couple on what we want in life. We want to add value to people's lives in any way we can. And one way is through a book, but there's ways that you can find out in your life, how can you help your family? That's the most important. And this business is a very powerful tool to do that. So I'm going to give it back to Christina so she can wrap up. Oh, you're done?
Alright, palakpakan natin sila! So, the book you're talking about is entitled what? When You Believe. And you are the author of the book,
Yes.
right? So, when you were writing the book, how were you able to perceive that one day, you know, this book will transform a lot of lives and we can give a lot of inspirational stories about what happened to you and to Paul. So Paul, can you give some glimpse of the book, say anything about the book?
Like I said, when we would do our walks at night, it was the stories that are powerful, that maybe is a common story in the Philippines about OFWs and DHs and what they go through. In the U.S., we know nothing about that. We don't know the immense sacrifice that many Filipinos have to endure for the betterment of their family. And I said, you know, that's something that beyond the Philippines, Americans need to know that. That, you know, it's not just the Americans that struggle. Everyone struggles, but Filipinos, I believe, you deal with so much in life. You have volcanoes, typhoons, hurricanes, well, that's us, but earthquakes, but yet you're still here, you're smiling, you're vibrant, you're happy. It's just about reigniting your dream, because when you believe and when you have focus and you visualize, you can accomplish anything. No matter who you are, what place you are in life, from the lowliest, when she felt low as a DH. She took it on like a status symbol, like, I'm just a DH. You know, when you don't identify who you are in life, you allow others to place a label on you. And that's not good. You know, you have the most powerful thing you have in life is identifying who you are in life. So focus on what you want to be, and that's what I took out of it, is that she's going to be a beacon of hope and show that the Filipino people are the most resilient. They're the strong people. You're the backbone of this country, the hard workers that others need to know about. So that's what I took out from reading the book.
Actually, when I speak kasi, nakakalimutan ko yung sinasabi ko. So sabi ko, I want to put it in writing. Sabi ko, but then, whenever I write, nahirapan ako because of the negative behind or at the back of my mind that you cannot do it. But then that dreams became just like stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I keep declaring, and then I keep telling to everyone, I'm going to be an author. I'm going to be writing a book that could change many lives. And then I keep saying, but at the back of my mind, nandun yung negativity. And I believe so for every one of us here in this room, here in this stadium, alam ko na marami po tayong mga doubts in our heart na nag-hold back sa atin. And in that book, I've shared everything that you could really, when you believe, everything is possible.